up, you guys? Wait, no. I'm supposed to skip the intro. Pretend that never happened. Basically, all you need to know is that this video contains spoilers for Season 2, Episode 6 of Netflix's Shadow and Bone, so if you don't want to be spoiled, leave. We open with Bagra taking Alina and Mal to Morizova's lab, which was completely pointless. First, there shouldn't even be a lab. Second, what are they going to gain there that they can't already gain from the journals themselves, which they have, thanks to David? Bagra also makes Alina promise not to use Merzost, especially to create an army of light to fight the Nichevoya. And I don't know if this was supposed to be a nod toward the end of Siege and Storm, or why they included this, because it just made me angry that we didn't get to see it. Meanwhile, the crows are all slowly dying from the poison emitting from the ceiling of the locked room, which is also making them hallucinate. Kaz is living a nightmare where Jordy is literally drowning him. Inej is imagining Kaz asking her to stay, and Jesper is remembering his mother. Thankfully, Wylan isn't in the room with them, he's just outside admiring the butterflies. But before Toya passes out with everyone else, he calls to Wylan to get them out. Then Toya is dreaming of killing his sister with his own blade. And we get another look at Jesper's dreams. He's spending time with his mother and she explains her backstory and how she died, and this was entirely book accurate, so I loved it. But back to Bagra. She explains the story of Morozova to Alina and Mal, and it's more or less the same, but Mal cuts in a few times with a couple hints towards himself being the next amplifier. Finally, they arrive at the lab, aka cave, which can only be opened by one of Morizova's bloodline. And it's giving Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince to me. Anyways, Bagra sends Alina into the lab to search for more journals and pulls Mal aside for a chat. And it's so obvious that Bagra knows that Mal is the next amplifier at this point, but we cut to the crows to keep the suspense. Inej is dreaming of Kaz taking off his gloves and kissing her, and even though this was a dream, I hated it. But it was enough to pull Inej out of her stupor and explain to Wylan what happened. Wylan figures out the antidote is the butterfly, so he shoves a few through a hole he blew through the door, and Inej feeds them to all her friends, saving their lives. Then Bagra tells Mal he is the Firebird. She even makes him close the magic Morozova door to prove it. But while Mal is having this heart-to-heart with Bagra, Alina is fighting off a vision of the Darkling. He threatens the orphans at Karimson, but then Bagra steps in, allowing Alina time to escape with Mal. Bagra cuts off the Darkling's hand, effectively severing his connection with Alina, but then Kirian kills her. And Bagra dissolves into dust like fucking Voldemort. Seriously, what's with the Harry Potter parallels? Back to the crows though, Kaz decides to find a different way through the house that isn't booby-trapped, and everyone else decides to play dead until the woman of the house comes back to protect the sword they're trying to steal. And when she does return, they have an epic battle. Turns out the woman is a Durast, and she's really super impressive. Like, she does things we've never seen a Durast do before, and it's equally impressive and frustrating. Eventually, Nina, Zoya, and Wylan join the fight, but then the Durast starts bloodbending? What the fuck? But then the fight ends when Kaz brings out this random old man who turns out to be the woman's husband because she is actually Saint Nayar in the flesh. And this was super cool. Like, I loved the opportunity to see another living saint. I thought it was a great addition to the show. Saint Nayar gives them a lesson about love and agrees to lend them the blade as long as they bring it back. She also scolds Jesper for being a shitty Durast, which I thought was hilarious. But it's starting a huge self-discovery journey for him that we didn't get to see in the books, and I kind of like it. As they're leaving, Jesper and Wylan make up, and Kaz and Inej don't, which hurts a lot. And to round out the episode, Alina and Mal make it back to camp and explain everything to their friends. Alina says Bagra is dead, and Mal comes out as the Firebird. Now here's something I've never understood. Why doesn't Mal just sacrifice a finger to give Alina her power? They did it with Bagra, so why wouldn't it work with him? Also, Alina said that she didn't think you had to kill an amplifier to gain its power. So why don't they try that with Mal? But that's a Leigh Bardugo issue, not a show issue. Anyway, the Darkling gets a new hand, bonded with his mother's bones, which allows him to see her final moments. And he learns that Mal is the Firebird. And this made me angry because in the books, he never knew. Like, he's not supposed to know. But that's the end of the episode. But what did you all think? Did you like this new Crow's Heist? How do you feel about the Darkling knowing the truth about Mal? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell to stay up to date when I post my review of episode 7 coming soon. And as always, thanks for watching.